3 years ago today, I quit drinking alcohol for good. In this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey, and I'm going to give tips on what worked for me to quit drinking. At the end of this video, I'll tell you how it's gone for me and where I am today. I was what you would call a high functional alcoholic, or what is now referred to as AUD, alcohol use disorder. This is basically where, from the outside at least, it's perceived I maintain and keep jobs, I work hard, I'm career driven, but behind the scenes, maybe at weekends, the alcohol is a problem. I never craved alcohol. I never woke up in the morning wanting a drink, quite the opposite. But when I did start drinking, from that first drink, it was a real problem. One drink would become an all-night drinking session, sometimes 2 days, sometimes even 6 days straight. That's how crazy it got once upon a time. Here's just 10 examples why alcohol was so bad for me. 1, blackouts every single time. I never remembered my nights out. Ever. 2, losing my possessions. It would be a miracle if I woke up the next day and still had my phone and my keys and my wallet. Every single time. 3, money. I just told you I lost a lot of possessions. That was costly. Then I'd easily spend 1,000 kroner or more every single time I went out. 4, I even lost one of my jobs due to alcohol. 5, I was once banned from driving due to alcohol. 6, I lost one of my relationships due to alcohol. 7, the health implications. Risk of liver cirrhosis from excessive binge drinking. 8, I suffered from extreme depression after nights out. This would go on for 3 days of real hardcore depression and worrying about everything. 9, waking up with bruises on my arms and legs and having no idea where they came from. And 10, impacting my family. I would have a hangover and my time with my son was impacted. He'd want to play with me and I was not fully present. So just from those 10 reasons alone, and I have more, you can see why it was not good for me at all. I had to quit. So before I quit, I actually created a video over 3 years ago. I filmed myself hungover and talking about why alcohol was so bad for me and why I so badly wanted to stop. Here's a little clip from that video to give you a little insight as to what it was like. Just by starting this video and looking into the camera, you can see my eyes and my skin complexion. It just looks terrible. I'm shaking quite a lot today. It's going to be a very painful sleep later tonight, where I'll be shaking in bed and sweating and having bad dreams. This is what I go through almost every weekend, a couple of times a week. So it's just way too much, this binge drinking at weekends. So there you can see quite a different version of me. I was not a happy person back then. I really needed the help. Here are 7 tips on what worked for me to help me quit drinking. Of course, everybody's different and people have different ways of dealing with things. This is what worked for me. 1, take a bad episode and use that to fuel you. I had many bad examples of nights and I would replay them in my head and I would write this down. And that would remind me I don't want to be that person again. 2, I quit going to bars and places with alcohol for good. I just avoided them. 3, I never even had any non-alcoholic beers or anything like that. I didn't want to fool my brain and make it think that it's a type of beer just by look or smell. It's either Coca-Cola, water, or something like that. Get it out of my life. 4, recording a video, something very personal about why you want to quit. As you saw from that previous clip, that is what I did. And actually, I've not played that clip back to myself in 3 years. So to see it earlier this morning for the first time in ages was quite horrible to see. If I ever was tempted to go back to drinking, I can press play on that video and be sure as hell I'm not going back there. 5, finding a race or something to motivate and challenge myself. Personally, I chose to start doing Ironman racing and I trained all year round and I went a year without alcohol knowing I want to achieve that race. After that race, I just kept going. 6, my family and my children. There's nothing more important in life than your family and your kids. This is a bigger reason than ever to remind myself alcohol is not part of my life. My kids and my family are priority. And 7, doing a video like this today. This to me is closure on that chapter of my life. It's a way of talking about it, airing it and closing the book. And this feels really good. So I will never say I'm an alcoholic or was an alcoholic because I don't want alcohol to define me. I'm Christian Payne. I used to drink. I don't anymore. That's my choice. That is my relationship with alcohol. It's non-existent. Let me show you another clip from that video I made 3 years ago.
I do want to get married and have another child in my life. That probably won't happen while I'm going through this phase of drinking too much.
As you can see from that clip, I talked about how I wanted my girlfriend back and how I really wanted to have kids one day. Well, today, I'm back with her, I'm married, and we had 2 more children. So we have an amazing life together, and I am so happy and grateful. So, why did I share this video, something so personal? It's for 2 reasons. The first is to put closure on this part of my life, and it feels great. And the second, if I can inspire anybody who needs to quit alcohol, that wants to quit alcohol, and if they take any of my tips and it works, then this is so worth it. Thanks for watching this video, a very personal story about my negative relationship with alcohol and the closure of it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you wish to see more of my content, I typically produce content around personal development and also a lot around the recruitment space. So if that interests you at all, please do subscribe to my channel and continue to follow my journey. Thank you so much, and all the best to you out there.